Welcome back. Do you want to securely transfer files to and from your server? Then you might need SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol. This lets you easily move files back and forth to your network server. It's an essential tool for your file server. Let's get started. So what is this SFTP? SFTP is a secure and efficient way to transfer files back and forth to your server, but not just plain text, but it's encrypted, meaning the text through the Wi-Fi or through the cable is unreadable by any malicious actor. So let's get started. So probably by now you have already installed the OpenSSH server app, but just to be sure, let's confirm it. There we go. It's already installed. If you want to know about configuring this, go back to the previous video. Now we are just going to configure it for the SFTP service. So we're going to open that file again. And now we're going to scroll down and look for SFTP server. So let me just search through this file. So you should have this line enabled. If there is one of these hashtags in the front, it's disabled. So make sure it's enabled. So it should say subsystem, SFTP, and then rest. So save it, Ctrl O to save, Ctrl X to exit. Now, next thing we want to do is to tell where to set the user directories. So we might want to restrict the users to specific directories. By default, that's not the case. So if you want that, you can add that to the configuration file. So if we open it again, then you can add that at the bottom here. So might need some more lines here. Okay, so adding those lines would restrict the users to a certain directory, but is not really relevant for now for this demo. So if you want, you can add that to your config file. I'm just gonna comment it out for now. Let's keep it simple and just enable the SFTP server. Now, you might want to add a group for the SFTP users. And you want to add people to those SFTP users group. So you can do that like this. And now you will have to restart SSH. Okay, we can now test it with any SFTP client. That can be FileZilla, SCP, or any other. So use the server's IP address, your username, password, and you should be able to then transfer files. So let's open our Windows computer. So we could try it with the command line. Exit here. Maybe there's a command line SFTP client. There is. So one way to connect would be through the command line. So your username and then the @ symbol. And then the IP address of your network server, which you can see with the command IP space A. So in this case, 192.168. This address, but it will be different on your computer. So just type IP space A, and then you can log in through the command line. So to download files, you can type the command get. And to upload a file, you can type put with whatever file. Now, okay, this is a lot of command line. You don't necessarily have to use the command line. There's programs like FileZilla and WinSCP that you can use to easily manage it with a graphical interface where you can just drag and drop. So instead of typing everything in the command line, if you want to transfer files or download files, you can use W or Win SCP or FileZilla to easily do that. And there is not really any advantage to one or the other. They're just different graphical interfaces that do the same. So let's say we download this one. We can download the program, install it. Now this is going to take a moment. Okay, we can now start the setup. And this is just a simple graphical setup, so click accept, next, next, install, and that will install the graphical variant for this, or one of the graphical variants that you can use to easily transfer files to your server. So just take some moments and we can now launch it. And then you'll have a graphical interface where you can connect to your server. Okay, here we go. You can type your IP address. It says here host name, but just type your network IP address. Your username, password. If you changed your port, you should change that as well. And then just click login. Now that's gonna connect. Click yes. And you see you're now inside your server on the right, and on the left you have your local computer. If you want to download it, you can just drag it or right click download, and it will download it to your directory on the left. If you want to upload something, you can right click here and click upload or drag it to the directory. You see it asks, and now the file is uploaded. So this is one way to do it graphically. It's easier this way. You can drag and drop files around. Right click, you also have some other options like rename, delete. So it's an easier way to transfer files to your server than just a command line. And this program is WinSCP, but there's other program, FileZilla, which basically is the same, just a different graphical interface, but the same idea. So let me just show you a screenshot here, and it's the same idea, it's just a different program, but you can move files back and forth. And you see on top here, you can log in, click connect, and then you can upload and download files from your server. Now, one advantage of this may be that they have this little progress bar, so you can see if you download and upload large files, how much progress it is, instead of just a text interface for that. But overall, it's the same idea. It's just a graphical interface for transferring files back and forth to your server.